life part. Life part. All right.
I agree. So guys, our next guest is here, and I want to move on to him shortly. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. But I think, guys, what we're saying is, obviously, we on the Globebusters team do not approve of this. We think that, this is a scumbag move, and it is just ridiculous. Again, that the people have to do this to flat earthers, or just people in general. But this is something that happens to us, and just like our next guest that's coming on, that's just going to talk about new platforms for us and anybody else that is speaking the truth. We have to have things like this because of the way that the mainstream is reacting to us in general. So with that, and like I said, that's one of the problems, that the truth is being suppressed. It's ridiculed, all these things. And this is one of the reasons why our next guest is here to kind of, let me put him up here, give us an opportunity, I guess, to go on to a new platform, because we all know full well that YouTube is censoring not just flat earthers, but I mean truthers of all, different disciplines, and they simply are just cutting us completely out of the equation. So I met Sean at Flatoberfest, and he gave Mark Sargent and I an excellent presentation on Lighthouse, which is this new platform, which is kind of a combination of, I guess, Etsy and Facebook and YouTube, and it has some really, really amazing features on it. And so I have brought him here today to kind of go over this. And Sean, welcome. We're glad to have you with us, sir.
Hi, Bob. Welcome. And hi, everyone else. Welcome.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I've listened to you guys for 5 years now, so this is a fun moment for me.
Awesome. That's great. So yeah. I guess let me go ahead, and I'm going to go back over to my share screen, and then we will go back to you. So the new software, which I guess is going to be launched here in December, like possibly somewhere around the second week of December. I know you don't have an absolute set date for it yet, but possibly. That is
the goal.
That is
yes.
your goal. Okay.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And so, I've really been hyping this up. And so what I want you to do is kind of, take us through it, give us a little bit of the, the face and, what it looks like, what it's going to feel like.
Sure.
Why you're doing this, why the people that are behind this and financially backing this have decided to do this. And yeah, let us have it, man.
Well, sure. Well, I always try to let people know the origin story, if that helps, just so people know that this isn't, I'm a normal guy that I've had a YouTube channel for 3 years. I actually have multiple YouTube channels. The first one I ever started was in 2015, but I immediately got censored because most of them were for FE videos, and I was just putting out short little music videos with proofs inside of them, and I was immediately getting censored. I only had one video that really got near 100,000 views, and so then a few years later, I decided to make a different YouTube channel, and that just primarily focuses on just breaking down the Bible, and so that's mostly what I talk about on my channel. Well, I had someone find my channel, and he reached out to me, and my channel was just getting to a point where it was growing to the point where I was getting so many messages, I couldn't keep up with them every day. And so people would try to call me on the phone, and I would not, I would try to answer those phone calls in the beginning because of the nature of my channel. I wanted to be able to help people and answer questions and at least talk with them about it. But it just, as most of the people on here know, that your channel grows too big. You can't keep up with everybody. So this was right at that cusp, and I got a phone call from this guy that said he'd found my channel. He'd already been supporting me through PayPal for a few months prior, and for whatever reason, I just answered the phone that day, and he and I talked for an hour and a half, and we just we hit it off as guys. We had we became friends, and then he really thought that what I was talking about on my channel was valuable, and that he wanted to help me in some way create a program, like an 3D interactive internet site program that would actually help people learn the context of the Bible quickly. So that, because he had been basically what he told me was he had been going to churches for 20 years and asked, setting private appointments with pastors during the week. And he had been offering pastors, in incentive to answer his biblical questions. And he started getting so many conflicting answers, and he couldn't get his questions answered, that he was really, really frustrated. And then he stumbled upon my video, one of my videos, and he said, I answered two of these questions he'd been asking for like 20 years. I answered them in like 10 seconds. And so that's why he wanted to support me and help me do this. So as we're building this interactive site, which has nothing to do with Lighthouse, we started talking about, you know, the censorship. And this was specifically when PayPal and Patreon started censoring people. And I had told him about someone I knew that was a YouTuber named Jaronism. And I told him about how he had, I think your PayPal, Jaron, had gotten disabled, and they were holding your money, and they were censoring you basically for no reason.
Right.
And so I basically was trying to share that story with him, and that kind of perked his ears up, because this gentleman is, he has multiple businesses, and he's worked in finance, and he's you know, a very adept designer and business consultant for websites and for other companies. And so he was really concerned when he heard these type of things. It's kind of a red flag to see actually, you know, PayPal and Patreon start censoring people and removing them from their platform and messing with their money, because he did some digging, and he kind of realized that MasterCard was putting pressure on people. And that was a huge concerning thing to him, especially coming from his background and the world that he was in. And so I kind of red pilled him into the rest of everything that you guys talk about, and that we as truthers, we always talk about and research and try to be aware of. And he just doesn't interact on social media a lot because he's busy running several companies, and he just didn't understand. Right. So I try to give him a quick, brief rundown, and that led to long conversations, which I basically told him, you know, someone needs to make their own version of media, specifically social media, that has a video platform involved. And, you know, so they can actually provide legitimate competition to these guys, because there's an ever encroaching technocracy that's happening, that's, you know, tightening the net on censorship. And that's bad for everybody, because the old guard of print media and your local news channels on your cable, that's all going away really quick. And this new media is social media and video media, like YouTube and Facebook. So that's where people are getting their information disseminated, and they're getting all their information literally in front of their face, you know, 10 times an hour as they check the notifications. And so he said, well, hey, let me call you back. And so he called me back like a week later, and he said, I've been doing some digging, and I talked to some people, and he said, this may be a reality. Let's talk. And so he gathered some people that he knew, and he flew them to Boulder. I used to live in Fort Collins at the time in Colorado. And so then we all met in Boulder, and for like 6.5 hours, we just had this long meeting, and I presented all my ideas about what, you know, here are the holes in YouTube. Here's the holes in Twitter and Facebook. Here's the holes in Etsy and online sellers like eBay and Amazon sellers. And here's some ways that we can integrate all that, you know, and that was on a front functionality side. But he had brought in people that had worked with Fortune 50 companies from a technological behind the scenes side. And so they're listening to me give this information and this, you know, the market analysis, because I used to do marketing and advertising when I was younger, and I was also an investment planner for 6.5 years. So this was a very interesting day. And so after it was over, you know, these people looked at each other and they said, this is viable. We can do this. Philosophically, they agreed with the need to do this. And then financially, they thought it was viable as a business model and within their means to accomplish. And then we started the project.
Awesome. Yeah, that's, you know, it really is too, because I mean, so many people are just utterly sick of YouTube. And, you know, it almost seems like they came on and they operated without a profit for a long, long time, you know, just to get to this point where, you know, now that it's time for them to fulfill their agenda, whatever that is ultimately. And I think we know that, that they would have complete control, you know, or at least majority control over a lot of the social media out there, because let's face it, Facebook, you know, YouTube, Google, they're all falling right in line with this censorship agenda and pushing this mainstream narrative that is frankly not a good thing for, you know, the typical person like you and I, right?
That's exactly right. And what you were saying about YouTube's inception and their first 7 to 8 years of being in business, you know, that's something that's actually talked about amongst people behind the scenes. I found out through these folks that own Lighthouse, and they were both the programmers and some of the other owners who are involved in multiple businesses. they also were kind of perplexed. Like, how does a business run with no profit for 7 or 8 years and stay alive, especially with all the money required for the server space that they would need to hosting? And even when YouTube was younger, they didn't have 23 million channels yet, but even just having 100,000 channels like they did in 2006, like that's a lot of server space that you have to have capital for. And they somehow kept going for many years, way beyond the time frame that most businesses would have already called it quits. They kept going with no profit, and then Google comes in and buys them. And it seems like that it was not orchestrated, that Google came in at the right time to buy them. And then over the next few years, Google started implementing their advertising program in a way that they finally started turning a profit. And most people may not know this now, but YouTube currently is profiting $10 billion a year on average. Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot. And and a lot of it is all of it is because of their content creators. And now what they're doing is they don't even seem to care about that anymore. They're just throwing away so much of that revenues, knowing full well that they're going to lose a lot of their content producers, but it doesn't matter because they have a bigger agenda that's going on here, right? And I think that's become apparent to everybody.
And the corporate advertising that's intertwined in the business model with YouTube is what is hurting folks like us who get suppressed and censored. And it's also why they're clipping or cropping, if you will, their business model for advertising, which affects widespread a lot of YouTubers, way beyond the truther crowd, way beyond the flat earth crowd, but widespread. It affects a lot of YouTubers. That's what the adpocalypse was about in 2017. We had a lot of corporate investors who were doing advertising didn't want their content associated with certain video content. And so YouTube now had more responsibility for proper pairing of ads within videos. By the way, Lighthouse isn't going to even have videos inside, or isn't even going to have advertising inside videos. So we're not even going to worry with all that. There's lots of other ways to make the site successful besides going that model. But that model is what got them in trouble. And that's where, from the outside perspective, from a business analyst perspective, you would say that's what got them in trouble. But if we're putting on our thinking caps, there's probably a lot of other indicators that was always the plan, to control the narrative of the most popular news source of media that's coming out, which is we have the plausible deniability of saying, oh, well, it's just our advertisers don't agree with certain things. So therefore, we need to cut down some of this content, or we need to stop recommending content that is controversial. Whereas, that's an easy, plausible denial of them, claiming any kind of subjective censoring. So we personally, though, from all of the discussions we've had with them and everything, it definitely seems like a much more orchestrated narrative as far as why they're censoring, who they're censoring, regardless of advertising. Like I'm about to show you guys, if I brought some examples to show and screen share if you like, and I'm about to show you that there's so many other ways that the site could be successful, that could help content creators and that could help Etsy store owners and people that are trying to build their brand or influence on social media. That absolutely does not require you getting a corporate advertising overlord's permission.
Excellent. Yes. And by all means, yes, that's why we're here. And, I can tell you that as a content producer, obviously that, the things that you kind of spilled on us at Flattoberfest are super interesting to me, because now we have a way that, we can legitimately make a revenue off of our videos, right? That is not harmful to anybody else, that actually allows us to pick who we collaborate with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just it's so much better. It really is. So yes, by all means, dump it on us.
Oh, cool. Do you want me to screen share?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Just go ahead and present your screen. And I don't know if you're going to need audio. If you need audio, you might want to just share a tab. Is anything you're doing going to need audio or just screen?
No audio, just visuals.
Okay, then just go ahead and share your whole screen then, and I will present it.
Right, I put it up in the studio, so you may have to accept it.
Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, add to stream, and there you are. So let me maximize it. And you are full screen.
All right, so this is the home page for the desktop. The mobile will be centralized and kind of slimlined from this, but I'm using this to go over the basic ideas and concepts as an introduction. As you can see, you've got the 3 big buttons in the middle: video, social, and market. And that's how the entire concept that is integrated is also slightly segmented in the beginning to help people navigate through the site. But once you start clicking on stuff, everything becomes integrated. So here on the homepage, if I'm looking at the video section, the social or the market, I can see, you know, just like you would see on YouTube, you got your trending and recommended videos below, subscriptions, people that are going live, watch lists, your personal channel to maintain. Under the social button, you've got your home feed, which has recommended and trending concepts. You go to your personal news feed. You can go to your messages, your read lists, or your personal profile and pages and groups. Under the market, you have general shopping, as well as specified shopping if you want to go search for a specific item under a specific category, or you want to look at the current deals of the day, people that have stores that are up that are offering special deals, or any particular lists that you may have made, like a, you know, bridal shower, birthday list, you know, wedding registry, that kind of thing. Also, then your personal marketplace, you can customize and optimize that. I'll go over much of this stuff quickly, but first let's just look at the video player, because we're all video content creators. This is, you know, many of you guys may know this guy. He has a homestead channel. His name's Zach Bauer. He has 2 very successful YouTube channels, and he just deleted his Facebook presence, as you can see from this video here, because he was getting censored so harshly on Facebook.
Good for him.
Yeah, he really did delete his huge following on Facebook, and he's excited to come on to Lighthouse as soon as we launch in December. We met with him personally, and he's a great guy, and just, you know, he believes just like us. He believes in the First Amendment. We should be able to speak freely, you know. And so, I'm personally banned from Facebook for 30 days right now.
Yeah,
so,
I think we've all been there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm having to use an alternate account right now. So, and that's to keep the Lighthouse group going that you had on screen a minute ago. But basically, you know, this is your video player. You have very similar features as you see to, you know, DLive or Brighteon or BitChute or YouTube, as far as the layout, the video, the title, the channel, the subscriber base, the video description below it. But on the left-hand side, you can see that this is what we call the portfolio. So every user profile has a portfolio, and the market, when you click on a video, the marketplace opens up as a default. But you can go to the social tab or the video part and look at all the rest of their catalog of videos or their playlists. You can go to their social posts and look at their most recent posts on Lighthouse while you're still watching the video. The video doesn't move. And then you can go to the marketplace and see what products they might be selling. And some of them may be customized for this specific video. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute when we review the partner program. But for example, maybe you're watching this guy's video, you love his content, he's got a shirt here for sale, you want to look at it, you can do all your marketplace functionality right here on the left-hand side while the video is playing. Go through your purchasing options. You can even add it to cart and check out and continue your full shopping process while you're watching this video. You know, if you want to admire him, you can admire him from there. Same with the social. You might want to follow his social page. You can do it directly from there or subscribe to his channel. Now, the channel subscription also is duplicated over here underneath the video for familiarity, since we all know where that location is. And as you can see here, there's also something called Lite. And so I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to explain the subscribe concept. So because it's not normal, we actually added some extra features to subscribe. You can subscribe as your normal profile, or you can subscribe as a page that you manage on Lighthouse. And the reason for this is marketing and advertising. You know, it's a business move, right? You may have a page for Globebusters that has 100,000 people following it on Lighthouse, and they may not know your personal name, Bob Nodell. So you would want to, if you want to make a connection with this guy and get his attention, you may want to subscribe as your Globebusters page.
Okay.
And so same thing with support. You can support the creators, and you can do this through, you know, just like you're purchasing a super chat, purchasing a support sticker through a one-time option, or you can do monthly reoccurring. And we try to be fun, because, you know, we're trying to, you know, appeal to a wide range of age groups. So we're trying to make it fun with, you know, these are all themes about light. So $5 is a spark, $10 is a candle, $20 is a lantern, $50 is a torch, and $100 support is a flamethrower. So
nice.
No laser. No laser. Yeah, we might add that one later. But that way people can support you directly. This would replace Patreon. You don't have to mess with Patreon or worry about getting banned. If you want to shine the video, you can shine it to your Lighthouse profile, social news feed, or a number of other, you know, social networks you may use. We're going to go into this in more depth later. I just want to do a quick brief rundown of the video page. But this is some of your typical features you see. If you click the menu button below a video, you can save it, you can report it for inappropriate content, or you can copy it to share it manually. But down here, we're going to go into this in a minute when we discuss the partner program. And this is where, if you're watching a video, you love what they're doing, You can offer to connect and partner with that person directly from the video right here. There's multiple ways to connect with people, but this is just one of them. If you like what they're doing, you can offer a product or a video, and I'll show you how those link up here in just a minute. The comment section is kind of unique. You can actually comment as your personal profile or as a page that you manage. So if you want to see like, oh, that person commented something really awesome and supportive and very, insightful to what we were talking about, they're definitely paying attention. They definitely show great aptitude and our content on this channel. Who is this person? Click on their icon profile and you can see who they are right here in the comment section.
Nice.
So this is an interactive way for you to have your social media presence on Lighthouse visible at all times while your video is playing, so people can check you out and see without having to leave your actual video. Now, if they want more interactive screen time, they can put it in corner mode, and then they can see your full video description with any links that you've dropped in there, or the comment section will be opened up and much bigger. And that way they can just, and some people like bigger things because it's hard to see with their eyes. But also, if people want to message you personally from the video, they can do that, and it goes into a separate message box connected to your video channel, and it organizes all your messages in an easier way. That's
really nice because YouTube got rid of that, personal messaging feature a while back, and that was a pain. I think that was a big mistake. I don't know why they did it.
Yeah, it was kind of unique. But if you've noticed, YouTube is, they're slowly and incrementally trying to get to what we've already designed. They're probably a year behind us, if not longer. Because as you noticed on your YouTube channel, if you have a certain amount of subscribers, you can have a store and sell things. And if you have a certain amount of subscribers, you have a community button as well, and you can make posts and interact, with replies and comments on a post. But you can't, you just can't do everything that we're allowing people to do. You can actually drop pictures and GIFs with your comments like normal, and the reason for that is because we've actually mirrored the comment section here is going to be the same as the comment section on the post that was automatically created into the newsfeed when you uploaded your video.
Oh, nice.
So it's mirrored comment sections. So for example, someone opens up their Lighthouse app, they go in here to scroll their newsfeed, they see a post that says, oh, Globebusters uploaded a new video, and they go into the comment section and they start commenting, but they haven't clicked on the video yet. Those comments would populate in this comment section under the video, and vice versa. So you just get that extra layer of advertising into the news feed that has constant interaction, while that is the same interaction going on under your actual video, under the video player. So that's just a little bit of a added touch that I asked them to do, and they were able to do it. So the video player itself, as you see, you can put it, like I said, in banner mode or corner mode, or you also do home screen or full screen like normal. But you can also choose emoji reactions instead of just a thumbs up or a thumbs down. This is another suggestion that they took, and we're going to see how people respond to it. But as a content creator, I always wanted people to know, I always wanted to know when people are reacting in my video and why they're reacting, unless they take the time to write a loving comment or a hateful comment or something. But just the thumbs up, it's just an acknowledgement that YouTube tells us go into the algorithm to help promote our video. But to me, like, that doesn't help me optimize my content. So with this, we actually provided 4 emoji reactions: heart, laugh, sad, or anger. And they'll actually be timestamped into the video duration bar when these people reacted these emotions.
Oh, that's kind of like Facebook does that too, in the real-time comment section.
Yeah, in their live streams, yeah. Right. But you can't. But if you're watching that video, you can't. Like, if you clicked on the video to show the video duration bar, it may show levels of interaction. They have a little wave that happens above the video duration line, but it doesn't actually show you where all the hearts came in or where all the laughs came in.
Right. It doesn't like specify. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So this actually tell you who's laughing when, who's getting mad when, and all that, so you can optimize your content. If you click back on the video player, it carries it back with you to the home screen and in this top mode up here, so that you can just continue to look for more videos or look on your social posts, or just go shopping. Say you like this shirt, you want to go shopping for a minute, video goes back into corner mode, and you can still look at your product and go through your purchasing options and add it to your cart. And if you don't, if you want to get rid of the video, stop playing it, boom, the portfolio fills up the rest of the screen. And then you can just start looking at this shop. You can look at their social profile. And if they have a video channel, you can look at what videos they've uploaded for their products as well. So all of it is...
Is the the mobile format going to be very similar to this, or is there going to be slight differences? Or
yes, imagine this portfolio is just basically at the bottom of the screen. You pull it up with your thumb.
Okay, gotcha.
So that way you can have full screen interaction for the video or the product or the posts. But if you want to look at someone's portfolio, you just slide it up with your thumb and you can check them out in all 3 facets. So yeah, we had to kind of minimize it for the mobile, but so yeah, that's the idea. As far as maybe you want to look at a post, same thing. The video would have carried with you over there if the video was still playing, and you can interact in the post and, you know, do your full reactions or comments. Or if you want to shine it, you can shine it as well. So it's just like normal social media. Same thing here. You can, just like we saw under the video player, you see a post and say this guy has a huge following. Like in this particular example, he's got 43,000 admirers to his store. His social media feed has 70,000. You're like, oh, I love, this is a great post. I would like to connect my video with his post, or my post. I'd like to connect my post with his post, because so you can actually, you know, get into his news feed in front of all of those people following his news feed. And you can actually do that by offering a product or a post to him, and it'll connect. And I'll show that in here in just a minute. Before I go much further, is there any big questions or?
Dark mode. It's gonna be dark mode. I really love the dark skin.
That's your biggest question.
Boom.
Dark mode.
There you have it. Okay.
Yeah, we have dark mode. We all wanted that.
All right.
Yeah, that was specific request by one of the owners. He's like, I gotta have dark mode.
So I have a question. Just you know, because I've thought about doing. I mean, Bob and I have talked. This is a kind of an idea that I've had for a long time about having this kind of a site. So who will be in charge of content moderation? Who's going to be in charge of deciding what will be allowed on that site and who won't?
It's a First and Second Amendment supporting site, so we want it to be open to everybody. Come in, speak. We obviously, because of the legalities of that surround the First Amendment, there does have to be content moderation, as far as you can't allow people to start a group to incite some sort of civil violence. But other than that, I mean, if people want to get on here and talk about controversy, conspiracies, or if they want to talk about Republicans or Democrats, or if they, you know, we're not going to censor people. That's the whole point of this. The people that one of the reasons they started this was because they saw the encroaching censorship, and they said that's bad for everybody. So
And about copyright, for example, in terms of if I upload a complete movie, or if I just use a little bit of that movie, or how it's going to be with that type of things.
Yeah, that's the best part, because to answer your question and try to in order, copyrights will be involved, because that's outside of everyone's hands. That's a legal concept. So there is fair use, but then there's also copyright law. So yes, copyright laws will be enforced. You can't upload an entire video of the latest Marvel movie and you know get a whole bunch of attention to your site because of that. You're using someone else's copyrighted property. But there are legal amounts of clips that you can use for fair use, and ways that you can use them. So we're actually going to be putting onto the dashboard for the content creators, we're going to be putting up videos that explain these things to you. And this is something I told them must be done, because with YouTube, they don't explain this stuff to us. And then they just arbitrarily strike you or remove your content and say it's too much copyright or what. They don't follow the fair use laws.
Well, but
so,
let me kind of explain,
exactly.
at least in my opinion, is because it's not humanly possible for them to address the human being from a human being standpoint, meaning who's working for your company, this Lighthouse, how many people will you have? Because it has to be tons of people. As soon as you have people uploading stuff and they're constantly getting copyright notices and things, you're going to have a human being review all those. I mean, this is the reason I feel like I could never start this, is because when I kept getting to these problems where unless I had an entire team of 50 people ready to review on a human level every copyright, every claim of this is harmful, this is dangerous, people will purposely go to the site. If you have a little flagging mechanism or some way that they can alert you, they're going to go there on purpose and flag every video, which is going to require you to either do what YouTube does, which is set up an automated system, which is complete and total garbage, or to have human beings review it all, in which case you're going to be overwhelmed with that action. I mean, so that's why I'm wondering how you plan on.
Sure. I'll get to the report feature here in just a second, but as far as the actual copyright team, as far as who's going to review, obviously the studios, the the media companies that own the copyrighted material, they'll reach out to you because they have their scanning software trolling all these sites looking for copyrighted material. But then it's YouTube's job, which will be Lighthouse's internal job, to stand up to those people to say, no, there's fair use law involved, and does it qualify for fair use or not? And we're not going to do what YouTube does and just kowtow to everybody. And if you got 3 seconds of something, take it off. So we're going to actually enforce the fair use law, because that's important for protecting the content creators, which is what YouTube does not do. So we will have a team of people that will have to put physical eyes on, and these people are prepared to, they have the resources to do that. For example, I mean, just the people that are programming the thing, the team of 30 plus people programming the thing would, that alone would, that budget alone for the programmers would be able to hire 500 people to go and review, moderate content. So that will, this is a part of how I'm actually consulting with them to organize the education on what the fair use laws are to the actual moderation team, and then also that liaison with the actual companies that come at us for copyright, so that we're not being pushed into a corner like YouTube allowed themselves to be. So that's step one. Step two, you asked about the report feature, and that's a cool thing as well, because if someone does report a video, like you said, it could just be people that hate you. There's 100 of them at a time that come by and report your video, and then it gets pulled down for 48 hours until human eyes can get on it for review. And that's very bad for you as a content creator. So what we've done is if enough people report video, when they actually report the video, they're going to have to choose a specific reason why, how it violates our community guidelines. And if enough people report the video, that then in turn will create a poll at the top of the video description and comment section that will say that this video has been reported for this particular reason. So then everyone else after that who's watching that video, not the people that just reported the video, they can no longer interact. They've made their statement and they can't comment and interact at this point. So if they reported the video, a poll will pop up saying this video was reported and why, and then everyone else watching can either click as yes, they affirm that it does violate community guidelines and specifically for that reason, or no, this doesn't match. And then if enough people vote no, the poll goes away, the video is never affected at all. If enough people affirm this did violate community standards and is a legit complaint, then the video will be paused, and then as far as its distribution and playtime, till human eyes get on it, and then they can make a physical evaluation, basically. So that way, you can't just have trolls come by and stop someone's progress.
But I also assume that, of course, we are thinking like this platform is going to reach 5 million people in 2 days. And for me, it's really interesting, your project. I really appreciate it. You have the time and the money or the support to create this thing, and I hope at least we have a new chance to change platform and start growing in this type of free free platform. And maybe I trying to answer also Jaron, because I really concerned about what Sharon's said, but also we need to give time to this type of project, because maybe it's something that if you reach the amount of report that you need an army of human beings checking manually those videos, is because you're going to have the money based on that amount of people that is entering into your platform. Yeah, so
the part that's different about that than you might think, Iru, is that imagine if you because I thought about, and Bob knows, I've talked to him about this idea, and we've gone back and forth, because I said this is something I think that is sellable and is something that is doable, like these guys are doing. I'm so happy that it's being done. But one thing I even thought is, imagine you had, okay, the first week you only had 50 videos uploaded, whatever. Let's just say there's only 50 videos. Well, if somebody goes in and just flags all 50 of those videos, all of a sudden you have a whole week's worth of work for one person to have to sit there and go through and respond to these flags and to these. So it can be overwhelming, not because of the amount of people, just because of what we can call trolls. That's right. What I think happens on YouTube. That's the reason YouTube doesn't review anything manually most of the time, is because you can make sock accounts and you could go through somebody's entire channel. Does anybody know of anybody whose account has ever been shut down for wrongfully flagging videos? Of course not.
Yeah,
YouTube's
that's actually something that we're going to be educating the content moderators on what to look for, and we can check for soccer accounts through mutual IPs. So there's ways that we can prevent that, in addition to making an actual evaluation on, did this guy just flag 50 videos in 30 minutes? Yeah, he's not serious. He couldn't have watched
and after all, you can disable that function for a little while, no? Until you solve the problem.
Yes, that's where I was going with explaining the report feature and how the first line of defense, instead of
never even heard of that. What you just described is perfect. So that makes me happy that you guys have thought of some of these things. Those are things that I couldn't really come up with a good enough idea where I could pitch this to anybody, because I couldn't ever come up with something. And I like what you're talking about as far as the copyright, standing up for content creators and making sure that, if they are using it under fair use, YouTube just has an automated system where anybody can run their show through it, and it doesn't matter if you used 45 seconds. YouTube picks it up and says, no, this is copyright, and the entire thing's gone. Or the second somebody comes and says, hey, I want a takedown notice for this video, YouTube doesn't even have the ability to have a person physically check it. So they just pull your video and say, here, respond to this person. They obviously, because they're making way too much money. One little video doesn't even bother. It doesn't matter if you went and copyright claimed the #1 video on YouTube. They're not even going to care. It doesn't matter to them.
And I like to ask, is going to be possible, like, for example, our own videos can be, of course, shared or uploaded in other users, but we receive some kind of monetization of that, or
No, we're going to go into the partner program as far as someone else wanting to promote your work, and as far as how you guys can benefit from that. But what we were just talking about, as far as the corporate media companies, whether it's music labels or TV production or movie studios, they're going to come in and try to claim copyright on stuff for a 5-second clip that's used during Jaren's hour-and-a-half-long video, which is ridiculous. But the reason why YouTube is in that position is because they're giving you money, they're giving you ad revenue associated with that content. And so the studio comes in and says, this guy doesn't have any copyrighted content. He's using my copyrighted content, and you guys are advertising on the back of my copyrighted content. Therefore, you owe me money. And so that's why they're so quick to take the content creator out of the equation and just kowtow to the corporate investors. So because those same Disney, like Disney and Universal, and those same studios and companies are also investing in advertisements on YouTube as well. So they're basically, because of their relationship, they're chained. So we're not going to actually do in-video advertisements, and we're not going to do the traditional monetization method. So I will, if you like, I can just start explaining the partner program about how content creators get paid.
One more thing. Sorry for my questions. I'm a little bit invited. For example, it's going to be some kind of editing mode on the video, like YouTube has. It's a very limited function with limited functions, but I mean something that you can cut certain parts of the video or things like that, or
not in phase 1. We've talked about it for phase 2,
okay,
but in our first launch, no, it's just going to be you upload your video, and there's a lot of other things that are happening. But as far as in-video editing in the studio, we do not offer that in phase 1.
Okay.
No.
Great.
So, but yeah, if you guys want though, we went over, the post side, the marketplace, as you can see how it's all integrated. As you can see on the right-hand side of the video player, you have your recommended videos, but here at the top is the plain next video. This is nothing abnormal. This is what we've all seen on most video hosting platforms. But what's unique about it is that the partner menu. So if you go click the menu button below the video, you can go down to request video or offer video. So the idea is that you may love what this guy's doing, and you want your video to be in this plain next spot, to bypass the algorithms, and to be highlighted in the plain next spot that autoplays as soon as his video is done. So you can offer a video to him.
Oh, that is cool.
Nice.
So this way you go to the dashboard and you can choose from your video catalog, and you can click it, and it'll send a notification to him that he got a partnership request for this particular video, that you want your video to be coming up next. And he has to accept that, right? That's an agreement that you guys are making together. So he would have to actually go into his dashboard, and he'll get that notification, in 2 or 3 minutes, whenever it goes through, and he'll click on it. Oh, I got some requests. This is your dashboard here. It's segmented very similar to the homepage, video, social, market, and then the promotions. I'll go over the promotions last. So the idea is we have recommended partnerships. So these are people that we've determined according to, you know, your activity on Lighthouse. These people might be good partnerships to help you grow, because that's our whole point, is we want to help people grow freely again. So this is a content creator specific platform. Yes.
When did this come online?
We're launching mid-December.
Okay.
So
Take it easy, Rodrigo. Everyone wants to be right now, tomorrow, please.
Rodrigo, aren't you in Europe? Don't you currently live in Europe?
Me? Yeah. Me and Iru.
Yes. So unfortunately, phase 1 launch is the US. Phase 2 is going to be in the this will make more sense when I explain more about the market. So phase 2 will be India, Canada, and Mexico. But if you live in a country anywhere in the world that doesn't restrict US-based sites, URLs, then you can still create a profile and interact and even upload content. You just cannot receive money because we won't have the actual money exchange system set up. They're working on it currently, but that's a huge process.
With the VPN, we can access and create an account if we are outside of the United States.
If your country lets you use US-based URLs, yeah, you can still create a profile, but you just can't sell products in the marketplace because that was the biggest and one of the most challenging parts of all of this was creating the actual marketplace so that we could be tax compliant in all 50 states, as well as the special taxes that apply to online marketplaces. So it's just a big project in each country.
And working, then you move on to other places.
Right, exactly. So
this is part of the plan of Donald Trump, though.
What's that?
Chacho. Continue, please.
So basically, like if you wanted to partner your video, you send that request to that guy's video channel. He's going to go into his request offers, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. So somebody's sending me videos. They want to. These are requests that are sent. These are ones that are received, and then you can click on. This is an example for a product offer. So say someone wanted to offer that guy a product on that video. He would say, "Oh, I got one received from Optica Design Store. Cool. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, he's a fan. He wants to partner. He wants to partner on this particular video, and he wants to offer this product on that video. So, and it's going to be featured in the first featured window products, which is where I clicked on that T-shirt earlier. And he wants 20% of the commission split. So at this point, if this was my offer and I'm reading this, I would say, okay, I can either accept it, decline it, or I can counter it. So with the products that involve an exchange of money, you may not like the percentage they're offering you. You may say, well, that's cool and all, but I don't really know you. I'll just give you 10%. If I make any sales of this product while they're looking at it on my video, then I'll just give you 10% split. Or maybe you love the guy. Maybe like, Jaren, like you found Conspiracy Castle and you wanted to promote him. I have Alex on my show in the past. He's a great guy. So maybe you wanted to see him grow. You throw his videos up auto-playing after yours, or maybe he has a product to sell that helps him grow his channel to get better mic or better camera or whatever. He's got already some complicated background green screen effects. It's the best background in YouTube. It really is. It's so much going on. So maybe you want to give him 50% of the split of whatever product is being sold while your video is playing. So you could do that with a counter. You can actually start negotiating with folks just through the touch of a button. You don't have to Zoom with them. You don't have to phone call them. You don't have to email them. Just all built into the dashboard with the touch of a button. You can control how you make money on your efforts, guys. You guys have already done the hard work. You've already made your video, done the research, done the editing. You uploaded it. Then you'll get to a place in the future where you'll just wake up every morning and say, okay, how many partner requests do I have today? Which way do I want to make money today? Because you have like Jaren, before your channel was struck, you got 150,000 people. Had you not been censored for the last 2.5 years, you'd probably have 700 to 800,000 people by this point, because you put out quality content and it's easy on the eyes and the sound is mastered well and people gravitate to it. And you're going to have a ton of people that are going to come to you and say, look, that's a pretty big, market that he's got following him. So I would love to have one of my products playing during one of his videos that's getting, 300 and 400,000 views, they're going to start offering products and videos to partner up with you. And this will be from people that are in the marketplace. So as Bob said, when he introduced everything, this is not just for, video content creators. That's just the video side. This is for people that have a large social following, or just anyone that wants to use social media, that wants to post silly memes or just post information with family photos or their grandchildren or whatever. Like, you can get on here and do your normal social media activity, but you can also create a store and sell products. So there's a lot of Etsy owners that are already emailing us in droves because they're tired of Etsy. But Etsy is really difficult to use. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to use it, but it's difficult. I
never have.
Yeah, it takes them about 20 to 30 minutes to upload one product because of all the different things they have to fill out. We've simplified it. Literally takes 60 seconds. And if it's, you've got advanced purchasing descriptions, it may take you 3 minutes, but you can quickly upload your things and fill out your store, organize your products, whatever you make or sell, and you can sell them, and you can actually have a following for your store as well. So what does this mean to us as content creators? It means that if you have a video playing and we have, a healthy subscriber base, and we know that we just launched this video 3 weeks ago, but we know over the next 3 months, it's going to get 100,000 views. Well, other people are going to notice that too. And they're going to say, I want to partner. I want that reach. I want to be in his influence of his 100,000 viewers on that video. And they may have 50,000 people following their Lighthouse marketplace. So when you guys actually partner up, when they come in here and they say, well, let me offer them a product. So then they take one of their products and they offer it to you and they press submit. That's then going to take them. And if you accept that and you guys establish that partnership, the moment that goes out, all of their people that follow their store will be notified of your video. So now you suddenly get an extra 50,000 reach to new people that could be possibly outside of your normal demographic. And now all their people following their marketplace will be notified of your video because that's where their product is. In this left-hand side here. So then suddenly you guys are sharing each other's audiences. And if it's not an existing video and you haven't uploaded it yet, they can contact you before you say, hey, on your next video you upload, I would love to, offer you this video, connect me to this video so that we can share audiences, or connect me to this product that we can share products. And that will be in your notifications here. You guys will share notifications because of your partnership. So Jaron, all 150,000 people that follow you, they'll be notified to that business whose product you're allowing to be in your video. And all, say, 100,000 people or whatever following that marketplace will be notified of your video when you publish it, because that's where their product is. And they follow products from that store. So that's the collaboration that we've built into this at the touch of a button, so that all of your audiences together being notified on that particular partnership, so that instantly with one partnership, you can increase 100-fold. You can increase your reach of people.
That is awesome.
Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of how the only thing I know that works similarly to this that I've used is Hotmart. I'm not sure you know that. It's like it's for selling digital products. But you can have, say, one course, one product or whatever it is that you're going to sell, and divide it with different people and give different commissions according to the participation and so on. This is really helpful for collaborations when people are working together and making things together. Yeah.
So essentially, what I've been explaining, or what I've been introducing, this is this,
right, for instance, that I'm talking about. It's very much what people want as well.
Yeah, that's the way we felt about it. And we thought, how do we put this into a functional social media site that has video hosting and a marketplace for everybody? So like when you sign up, I mean, you obviously are going to get a social profile, but you can have a store if you want. You can fill out products with it. And if you don't fill out your marketplace, then it'll just be, auto-filled recommended products from other people's stores. But if you do have videos that you create, you can collaborate with all three component pieces of the platform, social and market and video, to increase your reach and collaborate with other people. So I wanted that to be the central concept of it, because that to me was what Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube was not letting people do, that they could have been letting people do this whole time. So instead, you have to do shows like you're doing this weekly show that you guys do in Glowbusters. Like you put everyone's channel. You guys all have channels. All your channel video links are in the description below. And you guys have to do, personal shout outs during the video. Hey, check out their video description or their video link in the description below, and go visit their channel, subscribe to them. Well, you could just have their next video be them. You just autoplay their next video. or you can have their products in your marketplace and help them grow financially to help their content come better.
Which YouTube would never give you control of what autoplay is after, right? Or I mean, after the algorithm shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because basically you could never, Etsy or Amazon sellers would never let you put your video into their platform for all of their 32 million Etsy stores to view. We're letting you do that.
Yeah, the other thing that would never happen is I would never allow a Professor Dave video to play after mine.
That's right. Yes, and I guess that brings up the question of algorithms. Yeah, we're not going to have, you know, biased suppressing algorithms that, like, it's so funny because after I watch Glowbusters, some other non-related Fox News article shows up in my algorithm, and I'm like, what happened? It used to be, you know, it used to be like Flat Earth Dave, or it used to be My Perspective, or it used to be Jeranism videos, but instead, it's just something totally unrelated.
You don't host these videos.
What's that?
You're not going to host the actual videos in your servers.
Oh yes, yeah. We have the servers and so that's on the technical side. That's one of our chief architects. He's one of the owners, and he's worked for Fortune 50 companies as a chief architect, and he's brilliant. In fact, this was one of our technical problems, like you mentioned, or I think as Ira mentioned earlier about, you know, when we launch. We may get 5 million people in the first week, and that would be amazing. And are we going to be able to keep up with that kind of demand? Will the site crash like Parler did last week when people are switching over to Parler? He actually created a specialized algorithm that the server system accepted that will allow us to host 100 million profiles or 500 million profiles within 90 seconds. So what it does is, I'm going to try to make it as simplistic as possible, because even I don't understand all the background technical language. But essentially, what it does, it'll spin servers up when needed, and then spin them down when not needed to help us control our costs. But at the same time, if we have stuff go viral, or if Lighthouse itself goes viral, we'll be able to handle 500 million profiles in the first month.
Nice.
Any chance one boot on import videos like Library has? No, it's too.
Yes and no. That's actually something they're actively discussing and working on as far as what that would look like. Because as you can see, I mean, it may take over your video, your title, and your description, but it may not benefit you to bring over 100 videos at once, because you may want to start finding partners to pair with, so that when those videos start getting views, you're making revenue.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
You see what I mean? So they're trying to figure out the balance on that right now, and I'm sure they'll have an answer before we launch. But
are you going to have your own coin kind of thing, or is it?
They've actually talked about that as well, but that's definitely phase 2. Yeah, it's not going to be in phase 1 launch, but they understand the agendas are moving toward crypto worldwide. So they're talking about it.
And what about live stuff? No, I know probably not yet. Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, I got it here. I just clicked on it. I like the way you're thinking, because I was going there too. So live streaming, if you click on the live button under the video section, you're going to see the live people that are live streaming actively in the moment, at that moment, and whoever's trending. And then you can click on your subscribed and see whomever you subscribe to, if any one of those people are live streaming. But say you click on a live streaming video, and same concept, you know, portfolio on the left-hand side, you can check out their video catalog, their social posts, or the products they sell. You can see their first featured window product and see if they're partnering with anybody for specific deals. You can also interact in the live chat. And here is where, you know, if you say you put it in corner mode and you want to interact in a bigger way in the live chat, you can do that. You can give super chat style. These are support stickers, same concept, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. And then, of course, add your question or your comment with that support sticker so it gets seen and read, which can also be a great way to market as well, because you can use a page you manage as one of these support stickers and to interact like normal. So yeah, live streaming, live chat, all the same kind of concepts. If you want to do that, video player carries with you across the platform, you know, no matter what you're doing. So they make it real easy. All right, let's look at this real quick. Social feed. So not only can you partner with other content creators to share their audiences and notifications and get greater reach with the touch of a button, not only can you partner with marketplaces and actually make revenue on your products or on your videos, but you can also gain a greater following with the social feed as well. So if there's a content creator that has a large following but they don't make videos, that's fine. You can just click on the partner, you can offer them a post. So remember, every time you upload a video, it auto generates a post in the news feed.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna just ask one thing. Do you know how the feature from Twitch, which is like rating other channels? Have you heard of this?
Rating, RAIDING.
Yeah, rating. So essentially, we're doing Globebusters now, and there's like, I don't know, 1,000 people watching, and next Bob is gonna want to watch, I don't know, the Ironworks, you know, the different guys, or Cammy's gonna speak. He can raid that stream with everyone who's watching here now. That's what you can do on Twitch. You can say, oh, we're all going to watch Globebusters now. Somebody else who was having their stream with 300-400 people, and they just raid our stream. And then Twitch tells you you're just being raided with 100 people from this other channel. And that means that channel is broadcasting your channel, and you're getting all that audience just because they want to.
Okay.
And that happens a lot there. It's pretty cool.
That's very similar to what I said about connecting videos. Because if you connected a video, all that other people's channels, people are notified of your video being played. So it doesn't bring them in automatically. Now, if they want to connect live streams, that's something they're working on before we launch. It's hopefully they'll be able to have it finished. But the idea that two people could join connected live streams together, which would essentially be what you're talking about.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yep. So we're trying. There's just a lot to it. You know, there's a lot of functionality to try to do with jumping out the gate with a new platform.
What you've already put together.
Yeah. So lastly, though, just real quick for anyone that's interested, because you guys, I don't know how often y'all are on socials, but there's a lot of people that they gain their monetary support, their followings on socials only. They don't sell products and they don't make videos, but they have huge followings, right? So every time you upload a product or a video, it auto generates a post on the social news feed. So maybe you want to connect that post with your post, which was your video announcement. And you can do that through the partner program and connect somebody, and it'll show up like this in the news feed that these are partner linked posts. So that it's like it's all one post. They get exposure to you because you're connected with whoever they were already following.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of marketing tools built in.
You have really, really put a lot of thought into this. This is absolutely amazing. I'm just impressed every time I see this. This is like the third time I've seen it now, and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's the goal. We hope everyone feels like you do. So I think I went over the partner program, enough. Like I could spend another hour just talking about the different ways you can partner up, because under every tab here, under every button, video, social, market, you see the partner sub icon. So that means under each of these, there's different ways to partner with people and increase your exposure, increase your sales on a product or whatever. So if you want to go promote stuff, if you actually want to pay money towards boosting your latest video, you can do that. Say, for example, you create a video, and this is how quick and simple it is. Put your title in, choose the video that you want, and then you decide where this is going to be displayed. So do you guys remember on the top, on the main dash, or on the main homepage, on the top right-hand side is the advertising space. So we're not going to do advertising inside of videos that interrupts your video play, but we will have a static advertising space that's here in the top right-hand corner. And this will be a clickable link. So if you were advertising your video, we would see the thumbnail to your video. And if people clicked on it, it would take them to that.
I got a question. How long before you would be able to access whatever revenue is generated?
We pay everybody every Wednesday.
Okay, nice.
Every week?
Every week on Wednesday, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
It's not like YouTube where they hold your super chat for 2 months, which is nonsense.
Yeah, it is.
What's that?
I believe the word is the fee. I mean, how much?
Yeah, how much? What's your cut?
Because YouTube takes
30%.
They take a third, yeah.
Yeah, they take 30%. It's going to be, if not half, less than half. They're still determining the final number now, but they've agreed with me that we should not charge that much, and that it's going to be at most half.
Well, and actually, I think doesn't Google take 45% of the ad revenue?
Oh no,
you mean half of 30?
Yeah, like 15% instead of 30%. Yeah. So
30% is what they take of the super chats, but I think if it's more 50-50.
Right, and that's just on the support stickers for super chat styled supports, but on the actual products, it's a much smaller percentage because that's it's like a marketplace, like anything like Amazon or eBay. So because we actually remit taxes for you. We actually hold the taxes on the sales for it so that you don't get yourself in trouble.
Okay, that's cool.
That's nice.
This is
really
cool.
nice.
This is cool.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons it's been taking us over a year to complete some of this stuff, because we lots of meetings with lawyers and tax attorneys. And I said on multiple meetings where we're going over like 4,000 lines of tax code and my brain was about to melt. And it's just, there's a lot to it. But
this is awesome because you're not doing anything. It's so wild that this like has to be that you people, you guys had to come in and do this because it's just simple. It's like you just let the people decide. If people like it, then it speaks for itself. Like you just let it be free, right? I mean, it's so simple. Yeah,
it's free to sign up for a profile and you can use it to your advantage, or you can just go in here and post silly memes and scroll the newsfeed if you want. But if you want, like all of you guys are very specific with your purpose and your intent, you're making videos for a reason, you're trying to get your message out, get an audience, interact with people in a meaningful way. And I mean, I'm not trying to just approach it from a monetary side. I mean, obviously being able to create a partnership with a store that has 100,000 followers following its store is a huge advantage to you, and monetarily could quadruple how much money you normally make on ad rev from YouTube, just from the sale of a few products during your video plays. But from the other side of guys just getting out your message in general, think of how many people that may have never heard of what you guys actually talk about, but they come and they see all the views on your channels. And then they're like, well, to them, who they own products, to them, they're just seeing a marketing opportunity for dollar signs. So that in turn, they may partner with you, and as a result, get exposure to what you're actually talking about.
Right.
Which is going to continue to spread the conversations. So there's so many advantages built into sharing and collaborating with other people, as opposed to what's currently going on with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter is they're tribalizing people with their algorithms, and they're separating and dividing people.
The freedom of speech frees up like the investment potential.
That's 100%. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So our philosophical idea with all this was, we truly believe if people get to talk about whatever topic it is, controversial, like, was the Holocaust real? Is the earth flat? Is Corona a real thing or not? Like, no matter what the topic is, we feel like if people can just freely discuss it in the public forum, the truth will rise to the top. That's just a consistent, observable fact in life. The truth will rise to the top, especially if you got a whole bunch of people talking. And the good people will have an opportunity to address the misconceptions from the people that are spreading misinformation. We don't need to fact check people. We're not going to fact check your opinions. We're not going to strike you for saying the wrong keywords. Like, we don't, you guys, I don't know if y'all saw recently, but Tim Pool, he just interviewed Alex Jones. The video's already been pulled from YouTube.
Right.
It was like 48 hours ago, and Tim Pool's not even been told exactly what Alex did or said that got it pulled.
No, they never do.
No. And that's just nonsense. I mean, that's just abuse of the content creators. Like, so I guess I feel like I'm in this weird position as doing the marketing for this right now, is because I've been talking to a whole bunch of YouTubers, and it's like I'm talking to a bunch of folks who are experiencing, the spousal abuse syndrome. Because it's like everyone is there. We've had this mindset, and I was a part of this until I got involved in this project, where I was always trying to figure out where's the line I don't overstep it, so I can keep my videos up, because I had, like I told you, my first channel that I had, it was a very small channel. I only had like 12 videos up, and I was already getting suppressed. And then even on my main channel that I have today, I only have like 9,000 subscribers, but I got like 300 videos up, and some of them get demonetized before I even go live. And I'm like, I haven't even said anything yet. I literally just put a title up and you demonetized my video. Like, that's unreal. And that creates this battered syndrome of like, you're always sidestep. You don't know where you might get in trouble. And it's this unnecessary fear that we don't have to live in. So thankfully, these people I spoke with, they agree with that sentiment. They agree with free speech. They agree that business will flourish if people can be allowed to be creative. And so that's where this idea came from. So
exactly, it's so clearly synonymous, right? Like the free market, then the value increases because it just balances itself out naturally, right? Like you have to increase value to because it's pretty crazy how like we've been detached from how this should all go together like organically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was going on with YouTube in the beginning when their goal is just to reach to have people watching more videos. The algorithm was working. That's why they had to rig it, because the truth was rising to the top, and that was a problem.
That's right, and that's like Mark Sargent used to talk about, where he would look at the Google Analytics for what was being searched every week, and flat Earth was being searched more than President Trump at one point. So yeah, they definitely had to crack down. They didn't want truth rising to the top. So we're not going to do any of that. We're going to let people speak freely, do what you want freely. In fact, you may have noticed at the top of the homepage, we're going to have a poll of the week, so that we're interested to see how many people participate in the poll of the week. So they're going to have like true, unbiased, unfiltered numbers on how the public is thinking on issues. And then that can just be open for discussion if people want. But we actually have a lot of other plans as far as what we're going to be doing with, like grassroots journalists and people that are not involved with corporate media, in order to have real news feeds, which is why you saw under the live feed, we have a sports and news, but that's going to be coming in phase 2. But ultimately, like I'm one of you guys. I just, my channel didn't grow big enough for you guys to ever notice me, but I'm one of you guys. I've faced all the same censorship that you guys have been going through, have all the same conversations with people laughing at me because I'm trying to explain to them, the observable, demonstrable science that proves we don't live on a ball in space flying at ridiculous speeds. And what I've noticed is that people, when I red pilled some of these investors on why the censorship was happening, the topic of the shape of the earth came up. And I just want to encourage you guys that you'd be surprised. I was surprised, and y'all would be surprised, that there's people in top levels of business that know that we've been lied to. They know these are smart people. They just can't talk about it publicly, and they know 100% know. And they just know if like the Twitter mob would get on them and destroy their business.
Exactly.
So we're not going to do any of that. Like, you can come on here and speak freely, talk about, post whatever you want, talk about whatever you want, make videos about whatever you want, as long as you're not selling, doing pornography or inciting violence, or putting up. We're not going to allow sex toys in the marketplace. So, but other than that, like it's just wide open. I mean, it's almost the wild, wild west. Not quite, but it's almost, because we want to see what it's going to look like for people to actually integrate their creative efforts with their social opinions, with the products they make to sell and support their lives and businesses. And before this whole pandemic came along, we started this back in October of last year. We had no clue that this was going to happen this year with the Rona and 2020. This actually, our hopeful wish and prayer for this is that it catches on and people love it. They feel like it's as easy to use as we tried to create it, and that they actually start to put their marketplaces on here and hopefully recover some of these small businesses that were forced out of business from these coronavirus restrictions.
That would be awesome. Well, I know one thing. I'm pretty sure you're going to have the support of everybody on this panel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are welcome to try it out. Hopefully, I'm actually doing weekly webinars from the Facebook page that you showed earlier, the Lighthouse, and that's as long as the lighthouse.com group is up in Facebook. I wouldn't doubt they pull it soon, but we'll see how they respond to it. But right now there's only like 14,000 people following it, but it's growing steadily every day. People are finding out about it and being encouraged. And I'm doing weekly Zoom webinars every Friday for business owners and content creators for, other in-depth questions. And, how do I upload a video, and how do I, cross promote, with the social post or with the connecting videos or market video. So I'm trying to help people, before we launch and even after we launch, be familiar with the platform and utilize it so that they can start, increasing their reach and making more money right off the bat.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I got to tell you, we can hardly wait to kick YouTube to the curb, because I know I'm speaking for a lot more than just people in this panel, but we are sick and tired of YouTube and their BS. It's got to end.
Real quick, I forgot to tell you guys, the partner program, every user profile. So like if you sign up on Lighthouse, you get your complimentary profile, you get started. Everyone gets 6 partners complimentary to start out. And it just takes one partner to double your reach, but everyone gets 6 right off the bat. So you could have 2 people you're partnering with on videos, 2 on social, and 2 from a marketplace. And you could be spreading it out if you want, or you could have all your partners filled up with just people that make videos. Just depends on how you want to address it. What's your marketing plan? But if you're maximizing that, like if you're doing well with those and you think you got the hang of it, you can purchase more partners in our packages program, and you can actually get 6 more if you want. And then if you fill up those 12, you can get 6 more. And so I feel like down the road, people are going to catch this. They're going to get like how much potential is here and how many partnerships they could have. You could have 30 partners on the video side and 20 partners on the market side, and just be crushing it, just be killing it. You know, I'm excited to see how fast people can actually grow. Because the marketplace and the free posting on the socials is going to draw people over, as well as, you know, gentlemen like yourselves. You guys create content, you have followings. There's going to be a natural draw to the site from 3 different angles for people to use and try the site, which is going to create the viewer base for you guys' videos. So I'm just excited to see, as we grow, as we get to 30 million or 100 million users, how quickly content creators like you guys can grow, because we're not going to censor you. So it'll be an interesting social experiment.
Yeah, it really will. So one other question, as far as migrations, is there going to be any provision to make that an easier task, or do we simply have to upload things one at a time?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. As far as they did say, and one of the program meetings I was in, one of the architects was saying that there is a way to mass upload videos.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that. My bad.
No, it's okay. But I was saying you may not want to do that if you understand how the partner program works, because if you mass upload videos and all those announcements already went out to all your people that are following you, or if it just takes 2 or 3 months for a large amount of people to migrate over to Lighthouse and try it out, then all those videos that you uploaded, those notifications went out to a very small amount of people. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. Yes.
So that
that makes really perfect sense.
Yeah. So it might behest you to actually upload, you know, on a regular basis and transfer your videos over. Because guys, think about this. You have so many people following you right now in the last year that have never seen one of your videos from 2017, because it never gets recommended to them. And they just don't go through your video catalog all the way down to the end and look at those older videos.
That's true.
So this, like, they're going to think it's brand new information, brand new videos. Like, they're going to be amazed. So all those initial videos that you guys created, where you were just killing it, putting out all these different proofs, and people were responding amazingly. People were responding and going, hey, wait, they're making a lot of sense, you know, and they're starting to question things.
Yeah, and
just
been
upload those same videos and watch that process happen all over again with the whole fresh new crowd.
Exactly. And Jaren's been, of course, forced into taking his down, you know, for the threat that, you know, they're going to come and strike him on something that's already existing. And that's what they're doing. You know, they're going back 3, 4, 5 years and, you know, coming up with strikes on bogus reasons. You know, they're really desperate to take us down. And, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So you know, this cannot come too soon for us.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they did decide they want to try to launch in December as much as possible, because if we waited, like, there's a lot of people that's been asking us about APIs for products, for, like, you know, people have Shopify, or they'll have other online sites where they already sell products, and they're asking, well, is there just a patch where I can bring everything over quickly? And they can do that. You just have to reach out to them and see what site you actually use, and if that patch is already available. And if not, they're willing to actually make a customized patch for you, but you just have to ask them and see, you know, what you actually use. But what I'm trying to say is, if we had waited to launch and waited for all of those patches to be already made and all the different most popular online seller sites, then we wouldn't be launching until like next April. So we decided that, or they decided, I should say, I get to sit in on these meetings, but we decided that December, like, we can't wait any longer. There's too much censorship happening. People need some hope, and why not let us be the light at the end of this dark 2020 tunnel, to give people some hope before the next year starts.
Yeah. Oh boy, we so agree. Yeah. So excellent. Well, Sean, you know, I got to tell you, this really makes me very optimistic. And, you know, not only does it allow us to get our message out uninhibited, but we can also make some money, you know, for our efforts in return for it, you know, and it's not like we're trying to get rich, but the marketing scheme on this seems really, really great, and the fact that we can tie it together and, kick two birds to the curb, Facebook also. I never used anything like Etsy or anything like that before, but, Facebook is just as Orwellian these days, and, they got to go too. So this is really great.
Did you guys know that Facebook demonetized the Babylon Bee?
I don't know what the Babylon Bee is. So
They're a satire site. They just do like funny fake headlines, and just make jokes all the time.
Yeah.
And they actually demonetized them,
like
claiming that they were spreading false information.
Oh, brother.
It's satire.
Yeah, that's how bad it's gotten.
Well, that's, and that's one of the things is people recognize how effective, quote unquote, satire is at presenting and spreading serious messages.
That's right.
And that's why, comedy isn't even going to be allowed anymore. It's so Orwellian right now. It's unbelievable.
Well, unless your comedy is infused into a TV or movie show that's approved by the elites, then it's
exactly
presenting a certain narrative, and they'll let that slide. But
censorship in satire in antiquity was a sign of tyranny.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
If you had satire openly in a place, because satire is directed to the powerful usually, then it meant that people had free speech.
Yeah, amazing.
So I think I covered most of the general big ideas for this, and I just wanted to put this one last piece of this one last thing on screen here to show you. If you clicked on all the partner buttons in the dashboard, you can see the ones that are not highlighted, the ones that are kind of grayed out. Those are the ones that are not applicable underneath that segment. So basically, these are the ones that are highlighted. Those are all the different ways that you can grow your channel, increase your audience, or make more money on phase one of Lighthouse.
Very nice.
So we just want to encourage people and let you know that better is coming. That's our slogan. That's our hashtag, better is coming, because that's we've been working really hard to make that a reality for everybody.
Awesome. Well, well, I love it, me personally. So thank you so much, Sean, for coming on here and presenting this. And, as things progress, keep us up to date, and we'll certainly be happy to have you back on to, keep our viewers up to date as well.
Sure. And Bob, like I said, if you still want to be part of the beta testing, I'm going to reach out to all those guys here in the next 2 or 3 weeks after Thanksgiving.
I do. I absolutely do.
I wanted to.
What's that?
Ira wants to be part of the beta testing too.
Yeah, man, I want to be part of everything of this.
Okay.
Really nice project. Really nice project. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, just hit me up at Sean, that's SEAN.Griffin @lighthouse.com. And that's Lighthouse with 3 eyes. And your audience may be wondering, why are there 3 eyes? As you can see, the logo basically just represents the video, social, and marketplace. You guys would be amazed how you cannot buy a normal domain anymore. They're all bought up. Like you have to get creative with your spelling.
Yes.
And so we looked for it took us 2.5 months to land on an actual name, and then to actually find a domain that was available. So we would go like through all these meetings and find this name that we thought, was good and it represented us. And then the domain's $75,000 being held hostage by some Chinese company. So like it's nearly impossible to find a domain. So we landed on Lighthouse with 3 eyes, because believe it or not, Lighthouse with 2 eyes was already taken. But the 3 eyes actually goes into, the red eyes for video, blue eyes for social, and green eyes for market. And we thought it would make a nice little logo as well. So
somebody made the comment earlier that you got the RGB order wrong. It should be, instead of, you got it in RBG. So FYI, whatever. So, all right, man. Okay, well, I guess that'll be a wrap then with you, Sean.
Cool, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. I actually have a live stream I'm going to right now, so I appreciate you guys. I got to go.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. I love all your work. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
Will do, son.
Later, bro. It was awesome.
Later.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Look forward to seeing it.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you have it. So what do you think, Jaron? Has it been all the hyping I've been doing on it? You think it's going to be something worthwhile?
It looks like he's got a lot of stuff in order, and definitely a lot further along than I was thinking it was going to be, and certainly seems like they're ready. So I didn't really, we'll have to see how it goes. But if they've got employees and they're ready to do it, then I can't wait to see what they can get out of it. It's going to be interesting.
Me either. I'm psyched. I really am. Because, like I said, I am so ready to kick Facebook and YouTube to the curb. And I know I ain't the only one.
And
So,
I think it's very interesting how he's pointing out, like, just the need for manpower is going to be drastically cut. Just not being like so overbearing and just like taking everything, you know, down or whatever. Like just asserting, like, you have to solidify that this should even be questioned first. That's going to cut out most of the need to like manually review.
yeah, I'm wondering how much freaking legal battles the powers that be are going to go after him with. You know, what kind of bullshit? Because you know they're going to do it. You know, heaven forbid, this is a threat to their empire.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I mean. That's what you
Yeah,
know.
that's what I was thinking.
BitChute's starting to get it, but I think that nothing is going to go. They're not going to go after anything to start. If it becomes something impressive and starts growing, that's when, you know, I mean, the ADL, for example, they'll find any video where anybody says Jew at all, and immediately they have their multiple different corporations and everything that can just start hanging you out to dry on Twitter, wherever, and then all of a sudden you get this huge pressure from every direction, and standing up to that pressure is what's difficult.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, hopefully they've got a good legal team, because I have a feeling they'll need it.
I wish them all the luck. Definitely would love for something like this to happen. It's free speech. It's important. They also are taking into account the no porn, because that's something, you know, Bob and I talked about. Well, if we start a free speech platform, what do you do with porn? You got to take that down. So same thing with hate and inciting violence. They seem like they have it in order. As long as you have people that can actually verify that something, when flagged, doesn't mean that it's actually going against anything, then you should be fine.
And if there's big money that is like decided that it's got some viability business wise, then they've thought about some of the glaring questions, right? Just because it would be dumb not to, you would be putting your money in jeopardy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And they have several million dollars already invested in this. So, yeah, I'm sure they're going to protect that asset very, very well. So
I was
wish
impressed
them
with the
best.
depth and preparation of his answers to the random questions we were bombarding him with. You know, like they had thought about like all this stuff that we were trying to find a flaw.
Yeah. Yeah. He's awesome.
And I felt bad on some of the questions I was going to ask him, because I was like, look, I'm sure they haven't got to this part yet, or they're not that far along. And he had answers for him. I was like, oh, well, you're way further along than I even expected. I thought you were at the infant stages where you haven't even thought of some of these potential issues, but they have them thought out and prepared for them.
I felt the same way. I was absolutely blown away by the depth of and availability of answers that he had, that they had already thought this out. It's just like, wow, you guys are not failing to
They're ready to launch.
impress. They're ready to go. Yeah. So very cool. All right, guys. Well, let's call it a show. And yeah, it's been very interesting coverage today. And we'll see what happens, you know, with the Nathan Thompson, you know, fiasco going on over the next week, guys. And I hope everything works out, but who knows what that's going to be. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So, and yeah, that's about it. So let's go around one more time. And Iru, I guess we will start with you. What do you got going on there for coming up next week? And you are muted. Or maybe you're not there. Maybe you fell asleep. Okay. Well, Rodrigo, how about you? What you got coming up, sir?
Just getting
I'm
back.
here.
Oh, here he is. He is.
Sorry. I was at tea. I was listening.
Okay.
No, you know, just working on stuff. I don't know if I mirror a video from Sphere Through about the ionosphere, and it's like a recopilation of other videos. But I really recommend this in my English channel, because it has a PhD given a lecture inside of I believe it's some kind of university in England, talking about the theory of, you know, the light beam particles and the actual quantum physics theory beam particles. And the guy said, well, that is completely a lie. Every scientist know that we don't know about what the universe is made up. in those low scales, low sizes, or whatever. I am not the best person to explain what he said, but I really recommend everyone to see that part. I cannot found the complete lecture because the guy who made that video put the most important parts of that lecture, but it's really nice. So I'm gonna be working, I believe tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm gonna make my second live stream talking about a few things about visual effects applying to the sphere, the heliocentric sphere.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's going to be cool. So, and that's on your English channel that this is uploaded?
English channel is npt.redpill at Gmail, I'm going to say. npt.redpill in YouTube. You can find me there.
Okay, beautiful.
Globe life fart. Globe life fart. All right. Globe life fart. Globe life fart. All right.